How's my kingdom family doing today? I hope everybody is doing amazing. I want to send love and blessings to you, to your home, your foundation, and everything you're praying for. We just want to give God all glory, honor, and praise always because we just love you, God. We thank you for everything. Now, kingdom family, come into the living room so we can talk about a love that honors privacy with the love series today, all right? The scripture we'll be reading today will be out of Proverbs 11 and 13. And it states, a gossip betrays a confidence, but a trustworthy person keeps a secret. Now, kings and queens, I want to talk to you about this today because this is real important. When you are with someone in a relationship or in a friendship or just around people that you feel like you can trust, a lot of things needs to be private in your life, all right? It shouldn't be on full display. You should be able to be around people that you can actually trust with things that you want to keep on the down low, okay? But what we're seeing now, kings and queens, is even if these things are not something that you want to keep private, now you got people just making up shit about you just to make themselves look good, whether it's the truth or not. They want to make it seem like they telling all your secrets, and sometimes that shit don't even be true. But I wanted to focus on relationships and how it is not cool to be in a relationship with someone, and then if the relationship don't work out, then now you feel compelled to tell all the secrets of what was in that relationship. That's some very childish, immature, low-level shit right there. That's unrepairable, if you will. Those are the type of things where you lose respect for a person because they just not solid. All right, kings and queens. I want you to understand that not everything about your love life is meant for public consumption. All right. Real love respects privacy. And I mean privacy in all areas of your relationship. It does not broadcast any of your struggles. It doesn't expose any of your vulnerabilities. And it doesn't use all the personal moments that you spent with somebody as a social entertainment. All right, kings and queens. This is not for social media, things that happen in your relationship. And you see people actually on social media telling everything about their relationship, and I just don't have no respect for them people. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just some things that, yes, you need to mention. If your husband or your wife is putting their hands on you, yes, you can let people know that you're not safe. But when it comes to intimate things, I don't think that that's appropriate. That's between you and that person, unless there's some abuse or something like that actually happened with it. But a lot of people, they expose private things out of bitterness and anger or jealousy and envy. And that's not the way that that's supposed to look, kings and queens, all right? When someone actually loves you, they protect your intimacy, all right? They don't go around telling everybody what y'all did in your married bed or what type of sexcapades you had going on. They don't do stuff like that if they really love you. They understand that there's things in your relationship that are sacred and require discretion. You know, there also are people that will be in friendships and they'll be intimate with their partner and then go and tell their friend what they did in their bedroom with the person that they were intimate with. And it's like, why would you do something like that? You're not solid. That is not for everyone to know. If that's the case, then I would have had sex with everybody that you told, you know, because now they know my business. And so, kings and queens, you have to actually be mature enough to understand what I'm talking about. Everything is not for everyone's ears. All of the information and privacy that you have with a person during intimacy is not for everybody, okay? Oversharing that information is not transparency because, for one thing, why would you go tell your mother or your father anything that you did with your wife or your husband? Why would you do that? That's inappropriate, all right? Sometimes it's a type of betrayal and you trying to disguise it as openness, and it's like, no, you shouldn't have never told your friend, your family, or your next partner anything that you did with one person that you used to be with or you're currently with. You shouldn't do that. That's not solid. Ain't nothing solid about you. Matter of fact, you flaw as fuck, and you're fucking weird, actually, to be quite honest with you. Real love, though, kings and queens, honors your privacy, all right? And values the fact that you are trustworthy. There's a lot of things in my past that I could have told about all of my past relationships. But I never seen a need to actually expose anything that happened in my married bed, expose anything, unless it was something that was volatile, disrespectful, or anything like I said. That was personal. Whatever happened, and that is what it is. Whatever stories another person wants to tell about what happened, that has nothing to do with me either. I'm too mature to actually sit up here and even entertain that. I could care less what a person makes up. I was actually there, and I know what actually happened. And so there's no position that you should ever feel like you need to be in to defend anything that someone says about any type of intimate relationship that you had with them. It's either going to be the truth or it's not. And both parties know what the truth is. So if someone lies on you, that's just them lying to make themselves look better, and that will be exposed regardless, because God has a funny way of exposing people that want to sit up here and tell a lie when it comes to intimacy and relationships, especially if you're a child of the Most High God. God is not about to let your name actually be tainted from a raggedy, bitter, jealous, envious person that's mad that you probably left them alone at the end of the day, all right? I want you to understand, kings and queens, that trust is the foundation of love, all right? If you do not have trust, you don't have love. It will collapse immediately, all right? You have to have some type of discretion when you are intimate with someone, some type of trustworthiness, some type of confidentiality. And if you don't have any of that, then you will betray the person that you have been with, all right? And you will have to actually live with that betrayal for the rest of your life. See, the thing about liars is, kings and queens, when it comes to intimacy, is they have to actually relive the betrayal over and over again. They have to relive the guilt. They have to relive the shame, especially if it's exposed. They have to relive that over and over again. It's never going to go away. And they have to ask themselves on some old grown shit, why did I lie about that? Why did I make this up? What is wrong with me that I had to actually create a story and a lie to actually make myself look better? So they have to relive that. And it's something that will eat you alive because you know that you're a liar, kings and queens. So it's not actually worth making up stories or speaking about your intimate relationships with someone. Close the chapter on that thing if you don't want to be trustworthy and honest. Don't keep on, just making up stuff about, your intimacy with someone to make yourself look better, because to be quite honest with you, you don't look good at all. You actually look like a gossiper. You actually look like somebody that's not trustworthy and someone that no one would want to be spending a long term with, because you're not solid. All right, kings and queens, you want a love that's going to honor your privacy in all areas of your relationship. If you can't be trusted, then there's no purpose of actually being with you at all. All right, kings and queens, we want to be the type of people where we are the type of people of integrity, honor, morals, and values. You hear me talk about it all the time. If you don't have it, then you're flawed as fuck, and you're a disgrace to the human race at the end of the day, kings and queens. So make sure you linking up with somebody that is absolutely solid like you. Don't sit up here and just be jumping into relationships with people that will actually tell all of your personal business for the sake of making themselves look good. All right, kings and queens, I love you so much. I'll talk to you soon.